And now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for future Sunday School Answers Pack.
All right. Have you ever, been offered a job and they're like, so you're going to have all these responsibilities, but we're not going to pay you?
No. And that's considered an internship.
Right.
Not a job.
Well,
hey, that's motherhood.
Well, UCLA is under fire for offering a job listing for an assistant adjunct professor that says the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry at UCLA seeks applications for an assistant adjunct professor on a without salary basis. Applicants must understand there will be no compensation for the position. Now, this happens. There are jobs, sure. But when you look at the requirements for this job, it starts to look a little suspect. Responsibilities will include teaching according to the instructional needs of the department. Qualified candidates will have a PhD in chemistry, biochemistry, or equivalent discipline, and have significant experience and a strong record in teaching chemistry or biochemistry at the college level. Yeah, they expected you to have a doctorate, and they're still not going to pay you.
I feel like they should have just put in the job description seeking someone who simply wants to see us grow.
Well, I mean, essentially the kind of justification that they are putting out is imagine the prestige you will have being able to say that you were an adjunct professor at UCLA.
No.
It's the same kind of mindset as if you have a friend who's an artist and you're like, hey, can you draw me up this really complex thing that you would normally charge someone $100, $200 to do, but do it for free? I'll post it on Instagram. Imagine the exposure you'll get. That's the kind of terrible mindset that we have, that people who do the job don't deserve to get paid.
Yeah.
Because you're going to give them some sort of exposure. You're going to tie their name to something great, as opposed to just paying them the money that they tried to, build this skill up for, or go get a freaking doctorate for.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so the reaction has been not pleasant. Angry emails have flooded the inbox of the chemistry department at UCLA. And, of course, Twitter has been all over it. It also required 3 to 5 letters of recommendation from people. So it's we know we're not going to pay you, but you need to still prove you can be here, even beyond the fact that you have the PhD and the significant experience. We still need at least 5 people to tell us that you're worth it.
Worth what?
Yeah,
worth
exactly.
What?
So apparently the
what's the cost that they're losing? Nothing. Legitimately, you're not. You can hire Joe Schmo off the streets, and he doesn't have to show up every single day. But at the end of the day, sure. The job's not getting done the way that you want it to be done, but you're also not losing any money. So find somebody else.
Let's see. Helena Worthen, co-author with Joe Barry of Power Despite Precarity, says this is merely the most recent example of the sale of prestige in higher education in exchange for people's labor. The zero compensation gig hire gets to put assistant adjunct professor at UCLA on their business card and CV, and that's the reward. Up until now, unpaid adjunct assignments have been mostly limited to prestigious private universities, but now it's showing up in the public higher education as well. So apparently this has been going on in the Ivy League for years. Just, I can put a Harvard professor on my business card. I mean, anyway. Yeah. Crazy stuff. Crazy thing.
Yeah. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is paying my employees with exposure and prestige, but no money. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right, guys.
Guys.
So everybody knows that during the peak of COVID, China was very forthcoming with their death tolls, having reached a peak of like 16 a day and then back down to like 0 for 6 straight months. 0 deaths. Period.
Yeah.
6 months. So whatever they were doing was great, but apparently it finally came all crashing down because they are having a hard time over there, which is, I mean, in and of itself, not a laughing matter. The issue comes with the way the government is choosing to keep people under control. And this is by sending out drones and even those robot dogs that we've seen.
Yeah.
With megaphones attached to them, saying, everyone, don't sing songs on your balcony, and control your desire for freedom in one soul. Control your soul's desire for freedom. But literally, if you go watch that clip of the dog with the megaphone running around through the streets with this message being blasted, it gives you the creepiest AI future vibe yet.
Lovely.
Like, I'm just, no.
What was that? Can you do that?
During the pandemic, we request that you strictly abide by COVID-19 restrictions and related guidelines. Control your soul's desire for freedom. Do not open the window or sing. This increases the risk of COVID-19 transmission. So they want to discourage the camaraderie that they had in, what was it, France?
No, it was Italy.
Italy. I was close. Somewhere over there.
Listen, the Italians would not appreciate you saying that. Ooh, watch
They're
yourself.
all in that one area.
No. You better watch yourself. Better watch yourself, friend. That's why they say peanut instead of Pinot.
Oh, I thought it was peanut. What were you doing? So, yeah, drones have been flying over Shanghai's districts, prompting some posters who filmed the videos of the drones to call it a glimpse of Cyberpunk 2077. The dystopian video game that took forever to come out. It's much worse over there right now than it was ever over here. And I can guarantee you nobody over here is going to do nothing about it. But that's politics for you. And we've got our answer card for today.
You're not allowed to say things like that. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is Curbing My Soul's Desire for Freedom. This has been an SSA News. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com. Shut your face.
Now it's time for SSA News. Let's get out of that sadness bubble before we let it overtake us.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
Okay, so there's a man in Germany who has received 90 COVID-19 shots in order to sell forged passes.
Okay, is that his real arm?
No, this is the arm of somebody, like some 80-year-old, 87-year-old man.
I was about to say.
The 60-year-old man allegedly had himself vaccinated against COVID-19 dozens of times in Germany in order to sell forged vaccination cards with real vaccine batch numbers to people not wanting to get vaccinated themselves. The man from the eastern Germany city of Magdeburg, whose name is not released in line with German privacy rules, is said to have received up to 90 shots against COVID-19 at vaccinated centers in the eastern state of Saxony for months until criminal police caught him this month. The German news agency DPA reported Sunday. They didn't capitalize DPA. The suspect was not detained, but is under investigation for unauthorized issuance of vaccination cards and document forgery. I mean, why wouldn't you get arrested for that? Like, you're just, like, those are actual like government documents, right? Like that's messing with like federal. Maybe it'd be different if it was in America. I don't know. He was caught at the vaccination center in Eilenberg in Saxony when he showed up for a COVID-19 shot for the second day in a row. Police confiscated several blank vaccination cards from him and initiated criminal proceedings. It's not immediately clear what impact that approximately 90 shots of COVID-19 vaccines, which were from different brands, had on the man's personal health. So we don't know what it's going to do to him.
I mean,
But like,
the only real question I have is, has he had COVID?
how many times has he had COVID?
No, that truthfully,
You know.
this is the person that we need to be figuring all of the COVID stuff out on, like what's going to work and what's not going to work.
There was on the show Community, they did a couple years, they did a fake flashback episodes where it, it was set up like you were going to see clips from previous episodes, but it was really all new material from stories that we didn't see the full thing of.
Okay.
And in one of those, it's Pierce, who was Chevy Chase, sitting on top of a bookcase, just stabbing himself with a bunch of like flu vaccines, whatever. And the main character, Jeff, saying, "Those were for the children's hospital," or something like that. And he goes, "I'll be a living God." Just yeah, I'm like, yeah, I mean, is that how this guy feels? 90 shots of COVID, there's no way it's getting into me. Urgh.
That is exactly how he feels. Yep. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is taking my 90th COVID vaccine and still not developing superpowers. This has been SSA News, sponsored by backrowgames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right. He who smelt it may have dealt it, but when she didn't scent it, that left her tormented. Brazilian superstar Poca says she was hospitalized with severe stomach pain after holding in her gas too long around her boyfriend.
This is a real thing.
At first reported by News Hub, the singer shared the ordeal with her 15.7 million Instagram followers in the now deleted posts. She said, "I woke up at 5:30 a.m. with severe stomach pains and ended up in the hospital. But that's it, guys. I'm fine now. Just an accumulation of trapped farts." Puka said that she was inspired to ignore her gastrointestinal distress by a medical advice video on TikTok, which she now regrets. Girls, don't be ashamed to fart in front of your guy, Poca says, because what's really embarrassing is not letting your guy sleep because you're in discomfort, going to the hospital with your guy, and then getting a diagnosis of trapped farts. This girl had a fart attack. She added that she would be wary of natural gas buildups in the future, writing, "From now on, I'm letting it rip, guys." We have lots of questions, including but not limited to what kind of diet would do this to a person? Is she struggling with some sort of underlying gastrointestinal disorder? And what is the exact medical term for a fart attack? But if you find yourself in need of a discreet way to express yourself, we do have an answer. There are plenty of fart muffling pairs of underwear you can buy online.
I don't believe that at all. I feel like the person who came up with fart muffling underwear is a lot like myself and just thinks...
It's just a megaphone.
It's exactly all it is, yeah. They have come up with a way to magnify your fart.
Oh, man.
Yep. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is a fart attack.
This has been SSA News.
Sponsored by backrowgames.com.
I feel like I get the need to read that line every time. I
every
don't know
time.
why. I always take a breath, ready. No.
But it's not your spot.
But this time I didn't stop myself.
Take your seat, homie. This ain't it.